Hey, everybody. Good to see you again. Got a little short session for us here tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about being Italian American and the fine line between religion and superstition. A lot of Italian Americans generally grew up Catholic. I grew up Catholic, 12 years of Catholic school. And I think you find a lot of us, we have a religious side, and we also have a strange superstitious side, kind of a thing that not everybody understands. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Before I go much further, Sebastian Maniscalco, comedian, Google him, do a YouTube, great comedian. He does a little thing on this too. A little different than what I'm going to do, but it's funny. So check him out too. So growing up Italian American, 12 years of Catholic school, we had religion, right? I had all the sacraments I'm supposed to have up until now. And one of the things growing up in my mother's house that kind of transferred over here is we got saints. We got saints all over the place. Statues all over the place. I grabbed a couple, right? This is a small segment of my statuary collection, but I thought I'd throw a few at you. So most Italian Americans, Catholic anyway, they got the Virgin Mary, right? So we got a beautiful Virgin Mary that we have. My wife, makes a little scene, puts flowers, does the whole thing. I have one that not very many people would know. This is San Donato, Saint Donato. This is who I'm named after. Also, the town that my mother and father and all my other relatives are from, up in the mountains, Lazio. So this is San Donato. I got a little rosary that goes with him. He has his own little spot on the Como. That's what I call it, the dresser, right, the Como. And then one of the more modern saints, little fella here, little action figure saint. This is Padre Pio, one of the more modern canonization people. So we got Padre Pio. He had the stigmata. And then I got a bunch of other. I got St. Lucy for the eyes. I got a whole bunch laying around. And of course, for anything that you might forget, I got St. Jude. Right? St. Jude takes care of everything. Patron saint of lost causes. So he covers everything that you might forget. We got St. Jude. So as you see, I grew up with an Italian, religious aspect. Interestingly, intertwined with all that, a lot of Italian Americans also have the superstition. My mom was real big with it, which carried over to me. My grandmother, huge, Rosina Pesci was her name. And my grandmother knew a witch. She had a witch on call. Somebody would say, somebody gave me the Maloik. We'll talk about that. My grandmother had a lady she'd call. And they'd exchange words, and my grandmother would take a bowl and put different, water, oils. Who the hell knows? Do little chants, little things. And it was supposed to make headaches go away, things like that. So we had a family witch that we could contact. A lot better than Tylenol. You know what I mean? So that bled over to me, and I got those superstitions. And this is way beyond step on a crack, don't walk under a ladder. Those are small change compared to what a lot of Italian Americans bring to the table. For instance, I have a cornucopia of these guys, right? The Italian horn, right? I got Italian horn. I've had one of these in my car ever since I got my driver's license. The Italian horn supposed to keep away the evil eye, right? The Maloik, mal meaning bad, oik, occhio, eye, maloi, Maloik. And so you got the Italian horn, the hand, the Italian hand. Can you see that when I block the light from the fan here? So you got these guys. The hand, I showed you that's how I make number 2. This is also a Maloik. My mother would go in places and she'd say, "Fala Maloik." I was expected to do this in my pocket of my pants. It created a force field to protect me against any bad wishes that may fall upon me. And if you have one of these, it helps. You see a lot of these guys, a lot of people have this in jewelry. I got a chain upstairs myself where they got these. They hang nice gold, right? Usually nice Italian gold, 18 karat, nice gold. One of my favorite ones, is the cornicello. The cornicello is cool because you got the horn, which keeps away the evil spirits. But this guy, he's got all kinds. It's hot where I am. I'm sweating. This guy's got all kinds of other little talisman to keep the evil away. So you got the horn. He's got the black top hat. It's supposed to be like a good luck. He's got a humpback. So apparently, in the old world, a humpback was a good thing. He's also, if you see his hand, he's doing this. He's making a maloik here. He's winking an eye, and it's very hard to see, but he's got a little clover, little what, a 4-leaf clover, 3, whichever the good one is, on his little lapel. So this is a powerful one that I believe in too. I went out to the car and took this off the car to bring it in because I didn't have a spare one laying around to show you. So I got to put this back in the car tonight. So, growing up Italian, those are the kind of things you got to watch out for the evil eye. People put spells on you. This transfers. My wife, who's half Irish, half Italian, she never believed in these things. She hung out with my mother long enough. Now she's doing these. If she thinks somebody's putting ill will or talking bad about her, she writes the person's name on a piece of paper and puts a couple hot chili peppers and then folds the paper, puts it in the freezer. All right, so I grew up, I'd open the freezer to get some ice. There's papers falling. I got the same thing here. It's like a file cabinet, right? I got little pieces of paper with names, right? You put them in the freezer, keeps them cold, keeps them iced, right? They can't bother you. They can't wish ill will. Another thing my mother would do when I got a new car, she'd put a little bag of salt in the car. I said, Mom, you can't do this. Why? It keeps away. Because I get pulled over, they're going to think I'm going to meet a Colombian over here. You can imagine what it looks like, a little bag of salt. All right, it looks like an 8-ball. What, Mom, what do you want me to do? So, I grew up with that, the maloik, the evil eye. The Italians believed in that, and it transfers to the next generation. I'm not sure how much my kids will get, although, when she turns 16, Gina will get one of these for the car. So I suppose there will be some transfer through the generations. So the maloik, the evil eye, it's very real to some of us. So I just want to do a little shorty here. Summer's almost here. Tomorrow is my last teacher day. We got hit with a lot of snow days down here, so I'm still putting time in. But tomorrow is my last day to hold a piece of chalk. And then I got the summer. And like I told you, I got a lot of things lined up for the summertime. A lot of shows coming up. And I want to thank everybody for connecting with me, communicating with me, dropping me lines, giving me suggestions. It's been very cool. Remember, Rufo Social Studies class, or Social Studies class with Rufo. That's where everything sits in a nice place. You can find everything at once. I made a YouTube. I got a YouTube, Donato Rufo. You just put my name in a YouTube, you should find it. I got everything sitting up there too. So I got more stuff coming with the summer. I'll have some time to put out a couple things. I got a big pizza show coming, I've been telling you. I got a history of Delaware. Got a lot of stuff on the burner. So I want to do a quickie because this popped up from some friends of mine. Melissa Yateman brought this up. And talk about the maloik. And so I definitely wanted to. And again, most Americans, they wouldn't get this. When they get into the car and they see these things hanging, what are you people? Oh, it's to keep away the evil spirits. People look at you like, what's the matter with this guy? But to us, it's, and we're not the only culture. I'm sure there's lots of other cultures that have these talisman, these things to keep the evil away, right? So these are a couple. This, plus a half dozen saint statues. I got no problem in this world, right? I'm covered. I want to say good night. Everybody take it easy. I'll see you again next time, okay? Good night. Buonasera. And now we go off.